Scobie accidentally unmasks Meg. Omid Scobie drags the Queen into discriminatory row and suggests Meghan Markle was insulted at aids assigning Her Majesty's Equerry. Meghan didn't want help from old white women but was insulted when she was offered guidance from a coloured equerry. It's brazen woman. In his book Endgame, Omid Scobie claims the suggested appointment of the Ghana-born lieutenant colonel stood out like a sore thumb. In the UK edition, Scobie discusses the late Queen's equerry after being unhappy with the offers of help from Sophie or from Susan Hussey. The palace offered the Ghanian-born equerry to the Queen. He writes, "When palace aides told reporters, including myself, they bent over backwards to make Meghan feel comfortable at Buckingham Palace, this included a follow-up suggestion that perhaps the Queen's Ghanaian-born household cavalry officer Lieutenant Colonel Nana Coffey should be the one to help Meghan." Though a charming and intelligent man, it stood out like a sore thumb to Meghan and her friends. It stood out like a sore thumb to Meghan and her friends that due to a lack of black or other non-white staff, let alone women, in relevant senior roles, the palace had to turn to someone who was the Queen's attendant. "I doubt Kate was offered an equerry for guidance," a pal said to Meghan. So Meghan was insulted that they didn't have high-ranking people of colour in senior roles, that they'd chosen a black equerry in the misguided belief that she'd appreciate this, and she was insulted that she was offered guidance in the first place. But royal expert Ingrid Seward told The Sun on Sunday if Scobie's account is correct, she was offered Lady Susan Hussey and turned her down. Then she was offered the Ghanaian-born equerry to the Queen. I don't know who she thought should be helping her, but presumably not an equerry or a lady-in-waiting. Also, she doesn't want to accept help from people of colour far more experienced than her, but is totally fine with overusing nepo connections from a white father, ex-husband, creepy Soho house friend, and current husband, plus cachet from his family, as well as self-hating Omid. She truly goes out of her way to twist any situation into her looking like the victim. That just goes to show Meghan was playing the colour card before she left. Anyone who Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth selects has to be top drawer, and I mean excellent. What a fool Meghan was to turn down his assistants. In reality, Meghan stands out like a sore thumb wherever she goes. This was a man who had a job to do, and Meghan rejected him because of his colour, saying that he stood out. Why does Scobie describe him as stood out like a sore thumb? This is clearly a very derogatory statement to write about someone. She was always looking for ways to be offended. Her comment about his being black was the reason that they put his name forward. It's so insulting to someone with a 10-year experience as an equerry. I feel sorry for this man. Distinguished career, a place of honour in the Queen's service, and he's being dragged into this storm of Omid and Markle's making. Meghan has an issue with ethnicity. Lieutenant Colonel acted as escort commander at the royal wedding of Prince William and Katemiddleton, and was appointed as commander of the Blues and Royals at the Trooping of the Colour ceremony during the Queen's birthday celebrations the same year. How's that not a relevant senior role? And becoming an equerry was a promotion from those roles. The equerry is considered one of the most important and senior positions in the royal household. Once again, Meghan and her pals show their ignorance and classism. It's not a surprise there are bullying allegations against a woman who can't even treat the Queen's equerry with respect. Or she was scared that her lies would reach the Queen's ears, and she wouldn't be able to accuse the man of discrimination.